Welcome to the video. Today we're looking at um, some wonderful things that WordPress has released to the general public. Uh, this is like fantastic, thorough classes on how to use WordPress for the beginners. So if you enjoy this, please leave me a comment below and let me know how you feel about everything. They also have on here, I'm going to click on continue. I have logged into my account on WordPress. So as I click continue, it brings me down to lesson number 2 because I did the lesson number 1 when I first looked at this. So this is the video that they have, which is on YouTube. So once you start watching it, you can switch it over to full screen so you can see everything and listen to everything that they're talking about. And then below it, they have a transcript of everything that was said in the video. And it's very well laid out with links to all different things. WordPress is currently being used by NASA, by Walt Disney Company, and by Facebook Newsroom. And you can take a look at all the 3 of those sites and see what they've done with WordPress. And it talks about WordPress being a content management system, and it talks about examples of WordPress, and they go on to show you these are actual companies that have used WordPress, the free open source software, to design their entire presence on the internet. And one is the Alt Gallery of Ballarat, which is situated in Australia, and they have a collection of artworks, and they host exhibitions, and they sell jewelry, gifts, and accessories. So if you wanted to do something like that, that would be available to you to do within this incredible system of having a WordPress website. And then they show you another example, which is a baker. And I did an example of how to set up a bakery website like less than a year ago. So that was fun. And the last example is called Mrs. O Around the World, and it's a luxury travel blog filled with travel hacks, guides, and more. WordPress is open source, which means it is free for you to download. You knew that, I think. And they have themes and plugins, which are produced by people who love working with the environment that WordPress gives you, and put together all kinds of things that are just absolutely amazing. So you can basically set up a website, and then by adding themes and plugins to it, pretty much get it to do almost anything you can imagine that you'd like to do with a website. And then they go on to next steps in here, and then I did the quiz and I got 100%, so I did pretty well. So I'm going to click here on next lesson, WordPress Essentials, and then they talk about domains and hosting. And here's all your transcript, and they explain what hosting is. And I know when I started this presence on YouTube, the first thing I did was to show you how to set up a free account on WordPress.com, and you can still do that, and all of the stuff in here would apply to what you've done on WordPress.com. So you don't necessarily have to go out and purchase web spaces to be able to do what you're doing. But it does give you better visibility on the internet as a whole. And so after each lesson, it gives you a quiz to complete the lesson, or I can go on to the next lesson, and we have choosing and installing a theme is the next lesson here. And they give you some tidbits of what things to look for when you're choosing a theme. And one of those would be who wrote it, how many people have downloaded it. It gives you an idea of the stability of it, and you don't want to put something on your website that's going to allow you to be hacked into by the hackers around the world. So that's kind of important. And then they go on to choosing and installing a plugin. And again, we have the video, the transcript, and little tips on how to evaluate a plugin and see whether it's a good thing or not. And then it goes on to getting started with the WordPress dashboard. And this goes through the left-hand side of your website. You have your control panel that lets you control everything about your website. So it explains all kinds of things in there and what you can do and where you need to know about what goes on inside that control panel. And that's basically it. So if you enjoyed this and you think that this is a good thing, please leave me a comment in the comments below, and I would appreciate it. And we will talk to you soon. So take care, have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you next time.